Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Samee Wiz session. We are here on a Thursday, back at our regular slot of 11 o'clock. We are live, and that's sounding a bit. Adele, have you got Facebook open on internet or on mobile?
No, I'll turn it off. That's
there. We are. That's better. I think that's covered it. Okay, so we are here. We're live on Samee Wiz session, and we're with Adele that I'm going to bring in to introduce to you in just a moment. We're back at our regular session, 11 o'clock, which is great. People are already coming in and coming on live, so that's good. It's good to see some people coming in. So thank you for joining us, Adele, and thank you for giving up your time today to spend some time with us. It's good to have you here. Do you want to let's start and let you introduce yourself to the group? So tell them a little bit about who you are and what you do and what you've done before.
Well, obviously I'm Adele from Adele's Creative Heart. I have been going on this journey probably for about 6 months now, and I've been very lucky to have Ricky helping me along. Without him, I don't know what I'd do, to be honest. Yeah, it's been a journey, that's for sure. Obviously I used to work in a completely different industry, so I used to work in the social care as support worker, all sorts of different ventures that I've done over the last 26 years. I've been in the care industry for. So yeah, what else did you ask me?
So that was just a brief introduction, just to say who you were and what you're doing and where we are past. And I know that this is we don't do many of these interviews, do you? So it's a little bit new still and out of the comfort zone slightly, but they are a good bunch of people who have joined in. We've got Liz is saying hi. We've got Lorraine is saying good morning. So we know we've got a couple of people coming on. Do leave any comments that you want to leave in the comments box. If you've got any questions you want to ask, if you want to let us know you're getting value, then pop those in the box. If you've got an email for me later on, then pop it through to ricky@samee.co.uk, or if you can't get any comments through, you can pop them through on the email there. And if you've got on replay, you can also send it through to an email. So what we'll do is just share some of Adele's contact details so you can have a look what she does. You've got the website there, Adele's Creative Heart with a hyphen in there, .com. And we've got the Facebook at Adele's Creative Heart. And we've also got email address there, so we'll share these at the end of the day as well. So if you've got any questions or you want to have a bit more of a look at what Adele does after the conversation today, then you can feel free to share with it. We've got a few more comments coming in as well. So we've got a few people. We've got Chris is saying good morning. Jules is saying morning, Jules.
Morning.
Sammy team are on, so they're saying good morning. Michael's on here as well. Good morning, all. So we've got a few people on, so we're good and ready to go. So
can I just pause something? Can I pause the washing machine because I feel like in here?
This is where you know we're live. So hello, Martin. So Adele is a local artist who, after many years of care, decided that enough was enough, and we'll get on to that in a moment, and wanted to do something for herself, which I'll let her tell you a bit more the story as we go through. But I've been mentoring and working alongside her, and we've been supporting her. And so I said, come on and have a chat with us and let people know how it's gone. So I think let's get into it, and if people got questions as we go along, do feel free to share them. But Adele, I think the first question for you, and obviously I'll know some of these because we've had the conversation, but for our viewers, when did you first discover your talent for art, and how did you get into art?
I was a child, and I think I used to love just messing about with paint and things like that, and it's something that I really enjoyed and got into as a child. I loved going to the art classes. I loved it didn't matter what it was just craft, painting, anything, that drawing especially. so I was encouraged to do drawing, and that helped. I think because I was quite a quiet child, and found some things difficult. I think art was a way of going within and just trying to be quiet within myself and just be at peace. I think. And I just loved it. And from there, obviously, I think it was about 5 or 6 years ago. I think there was quite a lot going on in one's life at the time. My wife bought me an art set just to encourage me to do something a little bit more structured, and that I just sort of fell in love with again and just started taking it up again. I thought it would just be, I'll do a few paintings and that would be that, but it just progressed, and I just kept going with it. And I was encouraged also by my family members. Yeah,
good. And Lorraine has asked the question. She said, how do you put a value on your creativity? So she knows there's an amount of physical hours that you put into your art. Yeah. So it'd be a starting point for what do you charge customers? But how do you price your Dell-ness? I like that. How do you price your Dell-ness?
Lovely. Yeah, there obviously is time put into a painting and things like that, but obviously you've got to think about what everybody else values for them as well. But I sort of structure a price of size and how much time that goes into a painting, and what exactly the person wants. I don't charge an absolute arm and a leg, because I am right at the very beginning, so I need to get my face out there and known, and people need to trust what I'm doing. So I don't start with a ridiculous price. I'm just going with the average Joe price, and obviously a little bit more for something that's done with that person in mind. That's how I do it, I think. And so just a minimum price for an hourly rate, I think. But
and I think that was something you struggled with that at the beginning anyway, didn't we? It was kind of where, as we were working through, trying to understand what the value was quite a difficult thing to understand. But I think we managed to come up with a process in the end to work out actually what's the going rate for that.
Like you take on other people's advice, and I have a sister-in-law who's an accountant, obviously have you, and I also took on the information obviously from family and friends and what they thought as well, so that was really important, and then just juggled it and just come up with a price list.
Excellent, that's good. And people are asking what kind of art and images you create. So actually it'd be good, that'd be a good one to talk. Did you want to talk a little bit about the kind of images you create and what kind of things that you do? Jules is asking.
Okay, so I love animals. My inspiration probably would be my dogs, so I've painted them quite a few times. I also love color. So color is really important, and usually we start with a color, or we start with something that means something at that specific time. So I can wake up in the morning and something will come to mind, and it can just be going outside and finding some inspiration there. But it's just whatever comes to mind. But nature is my passion, my love. So I do a lot of different animals and use different, well, I'm generally a watercolor artist, but I have used other mediums as well. But watercolor is definitely something I love because it flows so well. Yeah, and easy to use. But color, really important, and getting as much color in there as possible.
Yeah, definitely. And I think what we can do, and we'll come on. Actually, we'll come on to that in a minute. But we might be able to share some of the images in a minute and just give people kind of a sneak preview of how you did some things. But Lorraine also said thanks. That helped in terms of how you price things. So that was good. So what made you? Jules has actually said brilliant as well. Do you do lessons?
I have no, because obviously that's something that obviously will come with confidence. I'd love to do lessons, but obviously I'm still going through lessons myself. Maybe in a year or so, I'd love to do that. Yeah, definitely.
And in terms of what made you decide to start working for yourself as an artist and give up working in a job?
I think I'd come to the end of my time working in an industry. I loved working with people. That's the most important thing. I'd still be working with people, but in a different way. Something that I'm passionate about, something that I loved. I loved obviously working with people, but there's the other aspects that I didn't enjoy. Or at least with working in art, I'd be getting the same thing back as given back, but I also would be helping not just everybody else, but helping myself as well. So it was a good round. God, I can't even think of the word, but just something that I could actually embrace passionately and still give back, if that helps. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just confuse myself now.
And Martin's just saying that his stepfather put his paintings on sale at Upton House for £10 each and never sold any. He recommended it put prices up, then charged £85 each for them, and he sold 3 paintings in the first hour. So people's perception of the value sometimes needs a poke. So yeah, and Chris has agreed. Chris has said absolutely right, Martin. So and I know that was a conversation we had initially, wasn't it, about charging what you were worth and putting prices up a little bit.
Yeah, I think you have to have confidence that your work is worth that.
Yeah,
and I found that over time that actually, if you don't show that actually you feel that your work is worth that, then obviously other people won't see that either.
Yeah. And I think we'll come on. We'll be able to show this in a moment as well. I should be able to bring the gallery on, hopefully, which will give people a little bit of a clue to the next question. But you started just before COVID, and I remember we were starting to put plans in place, and then everything kind of changed and everything hit, and it was like, how are we going to do things? And everything was kind of all up in the air a little bit. So, what challenges did you face, and how did you adapt?
Because obviously when you first start, you think, oh, well, that's okay. I can go out to some markets, get my face around and everything will be hunky-dory. But obviously COVID didn't stop that. Everything was completely stopped. And then obviously we had discussions, didn't we, that obviously the best way would be to go online and looking at other people and other artists, and that's what they did. And it seems to work quite well, actually, because you're getting yourself out more and more people are going to see you on a website or on Facebook, because then they know you there. But if you obviously sat in a market stall, only so many people are going to see you, aren't they? So yeah, I found that obviously going that way seemed to work well. Difficulties, well, I'm not technical at all, and I needed a lot of help with that. So obviously you, Ricky, helped me a lot. My wife, she's quite technical, she's helped me, and my son. So I've been really grateful to everyone that's been around to help me to get started. But yeah, the technical part was an absolute struggle, and even my wife struggled with that as well, because getting something up and running has its little bits that obviously can go wrong, and then you have to restart all over again, which we had to do with the gallery. But it came out better in the end, I think.
Yeah, and I think it's now's the time to pull it in. So I'm gonna bring up the gallery that we use just to kind of show people and share whilst you're talking a little bit about it. We're not going to do a detailed walk around and talk about each picture because we won't have time today. So if you want to see it in a bit more detail, you can find it on the website. But I think this will be really good to show people because your launch we did very, very differently, didn't we?
Yes, totally did. Like I said, at least we didn't have to pull up out boxes and try and trug it to some place. It was a lot cheaper that way as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. So this was the gallery that we used that people can see now, and it's absolutely brilliant, wasn't it? So do you want to tell them a little bit about the launch night and what we did? While I just wander around this gallery and just give them kind of a inside view.
I don't know what to say on that. Obviously, we put out there to everybody and put it on Facebook and privately messages everybody, and we had a really good reception, I think, and everyone was really enjoying it. Everyone seemed to be really entertained, and Ricky was definitely entertaining, and we had some really, really good positive feedback. That's what's the most important, massive good feedback that we got, and everyone really enjoyed themselves.
They did, didn't they? And so we kind of launched it on Facebook, didn't we? And we launched it within your Facebook group.
Yeah.
And we did this gallery that we're kind of taking people around now, just showing you around the gallery. You can use this virtual art gallery and you can create your own gallery with all the pictures in. So this is some of the first works that we displayed. As you can see, there's a few different items that I've shared, and you can bring up the details about each painting as well, make it look very, very much like an art gallery. And the basic package of this when we did it was free, wasn't it, as well? So it was quite nice.
It's a lot easier to do, but obviously I think once you get into learning how to do it, it got more simplified itself. Obviously the second time round was much easier to, and then obviously we changed quite a few of the paintings and made it look a bit more professional, I think, and I think it looks really good now.
And it's really good, and it's a website called artsteps.com, which allows people to then have a look around a gallery. Jules is already saying I need to buy the stag painting. So Jules, you've got, I'll put the contact details up at the end. Lorraine loves the virtual gallery idea. Chris is saying he's seen a few virtual galleries recently. They work brilliantly. Lorraine, I like your style in surfing the COVID situation. We could start a COVID timing a pain in the backside support group. I think that could be quite right. That could be a good one to start. So that was a really interesting way of doing it, and a very cost-effective way, because there was no cost involved to the launch, was there? There was no we didn't have to find a venue to host anything, and actually you had a really, really good turnout in the end, didn't you? It was a really, really great start.
A lot. There was, like, obviously in the end, I think there was over 100 people, and then obviously you've got loads of people coming on to it afterwards as well, wasn't there? So
yeah,
it was a brilliant way, because obviously you can only invite so many people to a launch, so to have lots more people seeing your work is the best way forward, I think. And it worked really well.
And you've got so much more on there now. I mean, we've seen the change and we've seen the growth just in the short space of time. And on the website, people can see a lot more. Martin's asked an interesting question. Have you ever thought of drawing for children's books? Your style would suit their niche. So that could be an interesting one.
Yeah, definitely. I have thought about that. So I definitely thought about that. Obviously, the world do oysters. You just got to keep going with the different ideas. I think obviously everything every day. I write down things that I think about, ideas and everything. I think that's a really important thing to remember, is if someone gives you an idea, write it down, because it will always come in useful. Yeah, I'll write that down. Thank you.
Excellent. And having a mentor support you. I mean, obviously, I know I've seen the growth and stuff, but having a mentor support you, how has that helped, and what difference has that
made? When you're having a moment, it's nice to have someone to sort of work out what's going wrong and how we can actually process it and get it back on track. It's just nice to know that someone else has been there and they understand what you're going through. It's nice to see, you know, a warm face and, you know, keep you on track and know which way you're going, and give you ideas and how to start. Really important. Yeah, and someone to give a ring to, and a friendly face, because he is a friendly face, aren't you, mate?
Yes, I do my best. I do my best. Chris is saying that actually Twitter is also brilliant for sharing the art. And Jules is saying, I also need a large chicken painted in the style of the stag. So that could be a new one for you. So there we are. So you've got another option, and I'm sure that's something you can explore.
Yeah,
that'll be a good one. So yeah, so anything afterwards that if people want to have a look a little bit more, definitely go and explore the website and see what other things are on there. And I know that you do tailored as well.
On every single day, a lot of the time you got new stuff on there a lot of the time, so you can actually, obviously you improve constantly all the time, and I definitely think, and there's lots of nice comments on there as well, which obviously you can see, which is a nice way to see someone and their view of how they think you're doing and how they're impacting their lives on as well.
So what was the first product that you sold, and how did it feel?
Well, obviously I've sold quite a lot of cards, because that's where I started. I started last Christmas with I think there was 4 or 5 cards that I produced for Christmas, and that went really well and everyone was loving them. I did a rabbit one what everybody adored, and they went really quickly. And then we obviously did the spring ones as well. But I think one that really comes to mind is the one that I did in COVID times, right at the very beginning. A young lady asked me to do a painting for her mum, because she couldn't give her a hug. So she asked me to do some what was it, robins on a branch, and, you know, have some poppies in the background and things like that, just to show her mum that she was thinking of her and that she wasn't alone. And that really stuck. Yeah, really important message, isn't it? That obviously we're here for each other.
Yeah. And funnily enough, someone's just one of the team has just responded to Jules saying, "You want a chicken with antlers?" ? And Jules has just responded and said, "No, I mean the style, you nutter, laugh out loud." So yeah, I think he means the colouring and stuff. But yeah. Liz has said she likes the idea of starting with cards as well. So I know when you did the cards, we kind of looked at them, and you struggled a little bit with the price, didn't you? And then we did a little bit of a recce of the local area.
Yeah, that's a good way of doing it, is just to go around all the shops and galleries and just come up with a price that actually is somewhere in the middle. And I've had so much good feedback off the cards, and everyone loves these cards are literally blank inside, because obviously then you can put whatever message that you want in there. But they say that obviously they're really well done and they love them, and I've had so many people come back to me and ask for more. So yeah, it's a good way to start, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, and Chris is also saying that there would probably be a market for chicken with antlers, especially maybe around Christmas time. It could be we could have stumbled onto a new one here. Martin is talking about starting an email fan club that would be free to subscribe to, supply members with a painting of the month, online only, not physical, and then keep them up to date with what you're doing. Once your email list grows to a good number, you'll start getting sales for your physical paintings just by letting them know what's available and for what price. So that's quite an interesting sort of
I like
to
that.
with. Lorena said you're really good at conveying emotion through colour in your art. Do you ever do any human portraits?
I do. Yeah, I do. I have done quite a few in the past, but it's something I can do, but it's not something I'm passionate. Animals is my passion. I have done. If you have a look on the website, that you'll see right down at the very bottom, I've done an interpretation of a Native American, and I've even done a Jesus picture with a dove. So have a look. They're pretty good. Very colourful. Yeah.
And the cards are really lovely and really good quality as well, aren't they? So yeah, definitely. And Chris has said, good idea, Martin. I see that Dell's using Wix for her website. Setting up an email newsletter through Wix is really easy, or MailChimp is good. So there you are. So you've got some ideas there as well about moving that forward. So
thank you.
What would you say to someone else who was thinking about working for themselves but struggling with confidence to get going?
Oh God, that is definitely something that I've always struggled with through my life is the confidence. And I think obviously give yourself time. Obviously confidence always builds. The more and more you do, the better and better you get. So just remember that obviously everyone's in the same boat when they're going through this right at the beginning. And if you're offered help, take it. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Absolutely. And Martin saying he agrees, easy to start email marketing system and it's free. And Janet has actually joined us, and Janet has said, "Oh, email be good." So thank you, Janet. So there you are. There's already one of your fans will be on that email list, I'm sure, ready to receive her painting of the month online. So I like that. That could be a good,
really good idea.
Yeah, definitely could be a good process. And I think what we're going to do is I'm just going to share the website briefly just to show some of the other ones that are on there. Let's just bring this up and share this because I think people would quite like to see this as well. So we can see there we've got the portfolios, the paintings. Let's show the cards. Let's go and just have a quick look at the cards. Cool. So you can see, so these are produced there. I love the elephant one. The elephant one's amazing.
Really popular,
yeah. And there's the cards in more detail, so you can see you've got some of the cards there. You can go and have a look. And also, let's just have a look at the paintings as well, so people can see. So there's lots of different birds. We've got smaller creatures as well. So there's mammals as well. The lion is really, really beautiful. I love the lion.
Yeah, because it's talking about painting of the month. That's what I'm doing at the moment, is doing a big painting each month on Facebook. So I started with the lion, and it's just a lot of it is about your emotions and putting that down onto paper, and putting the colors are really important, and that the colors that come into your mind in that month usually go up there. So yeah.
And also I know that there's always a little symbol that's within each painting, isn't there, that people, if they look for, they'll find.
There's always a heart in there somewhere. I try and get it a heart as much time. It's just to show the love of the work that I'm doing, but also the love of the animal that I'm painting. So yeah, I always try and get that heart in there somewhere. Sometimes I can't show it off too well, otherwise people think all I'm doing is hearts. But yeah, it's usually there somewhere. Have a look.
Excellent. And Lorena said she'll take a look. She might have to build some arty rewards for achieving landmark points in her own business journey. So I think she might be using some of those to kind of give her some rewards there. Oh, and Chris has said he's a Wix partner and always here for some free advice or to help read the website, Del. So that's quite cool. So yeah, so that's good. So
thank you for that.
What would you say would be the advice that you would give if you travelled back to the younger you? What would you share with yourself?
I think it's the same sort of thing. Yeah, obviously, take each day at a time and enjoy the journey. It is important to listen to people, but what you really value for yourself is the most important part, because obviously that's why you're doing it. Yeah, I think that definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And I've just we've got some comments coming in as well. Make sure I've got there. We've got Martin saying, take your completed cards to your local independent stationers and strike up a deal that you get so much for each one sold, which is good. So that's what you've been working on with your cards and looking at where you get them printed, hasn't it? I know that's something that we've had a focus on, so thank you for that, Martin. Definitely we're looking at that more and more. And if anyone's got any questions or any comments, let us know that you're getting value. Let us know that you've enjoyed today's session and what you've been getting out of it, and we'll share some more details again so you can find out a little bit more and have a look in your own time. Any final thoughts that you want to add about your journey or about what your experience has been like, or anything else that you think you want to add at this point, Del?
That obviously, how much my life is improved, how much I'm so less stressed, and now obviously that I'm doing this journey, not just for everyone that I'm giving back to, but for myself. And it's very much a healing journey, and that it's so positive to be able to produce something, and for the person that receives it and the messages that you get back, and that actually a lot of paintings are all about memories, and that the people that you're sharing your art with are grateful that you've of put something in their life to help them grow as well. I think positivity is so important.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that has been a really, really good session. If anyone has got any comments or questions that they want to add in, then feel free to chuck them in before we're finishing up. But I just think on finishing, it has been an absolute pleasure to work with you and watch how you've grown and watch you develop all the time.
I'm so grateful to you though, Ricky. You've been an amazing guy to work with. And you've always been
when you get it right, you get the right mentor with the right person. It just kind of works really, really well. And yes, I've been there to support you, but none of this would have happened or moved forward without your hard work. So definitely.
And my wife. I'm my son as well, yeah. He's been a really good mentor as well with my son. He's always, if something's not right, he'll tell me.
yeah, definitely. And Lorraine's saying it's been a fab session. Love your attitude. Wishing you every success. Chris has said thanks, Del. So so the thanks and the people have really enjoyed it. So we've had a great session. We will be back next week with another session. If you've got any questions following up this, you can obviously drop myself through an email. You can also email through to Dell. So you've got Dell's Creative Heart hyphen H hyphen art at gmx.co.uk. You've got Dell's Creative Heart, and don't forget the hyphen.com is the website. And then you've also got the Facebook page that you can follow as well. So if you've got any questions, I'm sure that Dell will be happy to answer them. And if you want any more information, Chris, thanks, Ricky. Yeah, thank you for joining us, Chris. And thank you for everyone for joining us as well.
Thank
Michael
you.
said, love to hear people getting away from the rat race. So I think it's definitely a goodbye from me, and it's a goodbye from Dell.
Thank you. Bye for now.
And it's been wonderful to see you all, and we will see you all next week, same time, a different guest. Look forward to it. Jules has said thank you. We'll be in touch. Wonderful.
Thank you.
See you all next week. Take care. Have a good, successful, and safe week.